Well, that was so much fun driving with Greg. And when I asked him for a recipe, I know he would love a good old steak, but he gave me his vegan daughter's spaghetti bolognese, and I can't wait to try it. It sounds fantastic. Now, he didn't start with onions and garlic, but every spaghetti bolognese for me has to start with onions and garlic. So I've chopped up one lovely big onion that's going to go into the pot, a little bit of olive oil. We're going to fry this off in a minute. Some crushed garlic. Gotta have onion and garlic in a bolognese. And then some herbs. I think herbs take cooking to the next level. They give it so much flavour. So I've got some thyme, just a few sprigs. And if you're lucky enough, you'd have your own herb garden at home. I've got some oregano here. You could use marjoram. You could use a little bit of rosemary. Now, we're just going to pop this on the stove and lightly fry it till it's lovely and soft to bring out lots of flavour. So to substitute the meat, all I'm doing is using lots of beautiful vegetables. I'm going to grate up 1 carrot and then 1 medium-sized zucchini. This is a lovely, healthy dish. A few mushrooms to make it nice and creamy. And we're just finally going to dice them. You know, most people freak out when they hear they've got a vegan coming for dinner, but it's really quite easy to cook food without dairy and without meat. Like, for example, with this bolognese sauce, I'm using lentils instead of the beef, and I'm using all these beautiful other flavoured vegetables that are really going to give it good substance and taste. So the onions are lovely and flavoursome and soft and golden, so now it's ready to add the veg. I'm just going to pop in my carrot, zucchini and mushrooms. Give a little stir and just cook this for a few minutes to soften a little. It's looking so colourful. Who needs mince? And that's looking awesome. It's cooked down for a couple of minutes. Now all we add is a handful of cherry tomatoes. Greg likes to keep them whole, and I imagine they'll go pop in your mouth when you're eating it. A whole tin of chopped tomatoes, some fresh basil leaves. I always add my soft herbs towards the end. Lentils, straight out of the tin, just rinsed and drained. And then we're just going to add 1 cup of water, and that's a nice way of cleaning out your tomato tin. Stick it all in. Pinch of salt, pinch of pepper, and that's good to cook away for about 25 to 35 minutes. And now the fun's about to begin. We're going to do some spiralising. Now, normally people would serve this on pasta, but because we're doing vegan, we're sticking with veggies and no eggs or dairy. We're going to spiralise whole zucchinis. Really simple. I just lop the end off, pop it into the spiraliser like so, and away we go. Gotta love that. And the most amusing bit is this bit. What do you do with this? I've baked these before with a little bit of feta on them, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to chop that up and add it to the sauce. So I'm doing about 4 zucchinis to serve 4 people. Now, die-hard veggies really like to eat this just raw with their sauce on it, but I love that succulent texture, just like spaghetti. So what I do is I steam it. If you boil it in water, it gets too watery, so steaming is the go. Oh, this is smelling amazing. It's ready. All we need to do now is pop some fresh spinach in, give it a little stir, and that's just going to wilt in the residual heat. It's ready. And we're ready to dish it up. Perfect pasta every time. So all we do now is we just pop some of this gorgeous zucchini pasta. Oh, look at that one, what a ripper. Into the bowl, spoon on some of this gorgeous sauce. Got to stick one of these juicy little cherry tomatoes on top because they're just too divine. Now, the one thing that's missing from this recipe is parmesan, but I've got a great vegan alternative. So I've got 1/3 cup of blitzed cashew nuts here into a lovely fine mill. And then Greg's daughter used 1 tablespoon of the nutritional yeast into the sauce, but I'm adding it to the nut meal. Gives it wonderful flavour. And we just stir this together to create a faux parmesan, and then we sprinkle over the top, and this will keep in the fridge for a few weeks or in the freezer for months. And there you have it. Greg, I hope you love it.